everyone, it is Suze here, and we're back for part 3 of our 80 days adventure around the world, where we are traveling by Trans-Siberian Express on day 21 at 10 p.m. I have no idea, guys. We ventured really far south and then had to double back north. Hopefully our spy friend is doing well. This playthrough seed. Number 3, in which a conversation takes place which seems like it costs Phileas Fogg dear. Oh, interesting. Anyway, let's get right back to it. We just saw a train of prisoners, and we weren't very happy about it. Let's take care of Fogg. My man, your attention is very relaxing. We reached the magnificent Angara Valley that holds the mining camp of Irixrix. Should we... We disembarked as per our tickets. Monsieur Fogg looking somewhat more perturbed than usual by the bleak surroundings. As the train pulled away, I wondered if we had made a terrible mistake. Please don't say we made a terrible mistake. Let's explore! Oh, found a route. Oh good, we can go to Urga! And then to Beijing. That's good. Irixrix was a surprising, beautiful town and packed with so many churches that one could not look up at any street corner without seeing a dome or steeple. We explored. Entering the city across a bridge made of tethered boats, my acrobatic skills made the crossing easy, but Monsieur Fogg found it a most unpleasant business and, once across, refused to return to the other bank. On a street corner across the water, we saw a group of soldiers stop and turn to face the sun, praying bareheaded. There is a steady calm about this place. The people are both devout and poor, despite the gold that flows through the city every day on its way to St. Petersburg. The barges of precious metal are fast, but no good to us. They are heading the wrong way. That's right. Let's plan. I want to go this way. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. So let's get the hotel. We'll pass the night here. Good plan, my man. Nighttime in Irixrix from nearby, we heard the ferries moving back and forth, Lake Baikal, and nearby the mining machines cranked on through the night. Otherwise, all was still. We were in the very wilderness of the wild, and I could not help feeling that we had taken a wrong turn somewhere. I stayed firmly in bed. Oh no. Start my timer. Start. Okay. I stayed firmly in bed with a heated brick for company. Hopefully we'll be leaving this place soon. Like tomorrow at 4 p.m. Depart! We want to go this way. Yep. Let's go. We have to pay for our bag. Go! Chip chip cheerio. Off we go. Da 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 da. We boarded the steam train from Irixrix. It was not a passenger service, but was carrying huge quantities of iron, or very slowly indeed. Still, we made ourselves as comfortable as we could. At least we were leaving Russia behind. Let's converse. Greeting, guard. You two stowaways are comfortable, I trust. Beijing to Hong Kong? Hardly seems important. Hong Kong to Ikebara? Who cares? The market has gone bankrupt. Dominoes? What a marvelous idea. Beijing to Pyongyang? This hears as someone will pay well for tea sets. Yes, I have, which is maybe why we want to go there. Beijing to Krasnoyarsk? Oh, we don't want to go there then. Well, he was most useful. Our time would have been better spent on Fogg. It felt as though we were the only passengers aboard. Perhaps we were, though. I would not have been surprised if the guard had not taken money from a few others and stowed them in the adjoining cars. We are stowaways. Are we? Let's take care of Fogg. A shiny pair of shoes. That is much better. The train swept on through endless countryside, getting faster hour by hour as it burnt through some of the stocks of coal it carried. We passed the time in conversation, and amongst other things I learned was that some buyers will pay for magnifying glasses from Yokohama. Evening drew in, and the train thundered on, seemingly without thought of pause. Iron ore freight train! In the evening of the third day, we approached the city of Urga. We had been told nothing about stopping here and had tickets to Beijing. And there seemed no reason to change our plans. So we stayed aboard. An hour went by, perhaps we refueled, and then we were off once more, rattling away through the bleak, empty steeps. Oh no, I want to take care of Fog! Come back! I want to take care of Fog! Oh my god, I just took care of him! Fog! Thank you! Come on, one more time. A quiet day that passed without incident. The train guard came and went, bringing food, a thin soup in which noodles floating like dying worms. I did not like it. I have a superior palate, but such a thing is hardly an asset out here in the wilderness. Both of us cannot wait to be in the city. Well now, this journey is proving more tiring than I expected. You always say that. You're so needy, Fog. As we approached Beijing, Monsieur Fog became increasingly animated, ready for the next step of our journey. Right, guys. We are in Beijing. Let's explore. It's still early in the day. Oh, this is maybe useful. Where is this going? Oh, we don't want to go to Vladivostok. There were no airships sailing across the Beijing sky, nor any evidence of electrification, even in the richer areas, where a few exceptions to the rule might have been expected. However, I did see a few devices, animated metal and jade dragons, perched on the gables of imperial buildings. They would not have looked out of place in the toymaker's shop in Heret, and looked about as vicious as one might have expected from the gentleman. Furthermore, I was lucky enough to catch a performance of the famed Suishi opera, the cast consisting entirely of hydraulic elegances, automata by another name. I was told it was ancient tradition, begun over 1,000 years ago by Huang Gun, an engineer who had made Suishin wine pourers and musicians, dancing girls and acrobats for his emperor's court. True, perhaps so, but the opera itself, my friend, it was a thing of great beauty. I forgot that the performers were fashioned from brass and iron, that their eyes were polished onyx, their lips were gently glazed porcelain. I saw only the purity of their movements. Oh, a Manchu court official who clearly believed us to be spies or troublemakers of some nature. Despite my innocent expression, which was wearing rather false after so many international escapades, as we departed the auditorium, I slipped away from our hosts and went backstage. My friends, I assure you only a fraction of the theatrical dramatics take place on stage. My progress was quickly barred by a stage manager wearing a carved jade hairpin and an irate expression. What are you doing here? I wish to congratulate the automatons on their performance, I said smoothly. The stage manager looked politely bemused. They are rehearsing now, but come with me. She took me through a narrow corridor to the dressing rooms where fresh flesh and blood actors were sitting across from the automaton. Orchestra engineers. She took me through a narrow corridor to the dressing rooms where flesh and blood actors were sitting across from the automata, miming expressions and gestures. The automatons watched with onyx eyes and mimicked them exactly. Do you each teach one automata? I asked. One of the actors shook his head and swapped places with his companion as proof. No single actor is perfect, but if we each teach them our most perfect gesture, our most prized ability, then perhaps the Suishi will achieve true perfection. How long does it take to train a Suishi? I asked. More than a lifetime, the actor replied, adjusting the curl of the automaton's finger just so. The performers you saw tonight are 100 years old. They will have eternity to practice their craft. Ah, my friends, let me assure you their beauty was more than mere practice. I made my way back to my lodgings to meet up with Monsieur Fogg. A pair of opium addicts were slumped in the alley, faces blankly blissful despite the emaciation of their limbs. I turned my face away, but could not burn the damaging sight from my mind. It infected all my memories of the splendor of Beijing. Market! Okay, let's see, what can we sell here? Valuable in Manila, Hong Kong, and Honolulu. Can I sell this now? We're not going to Benares, I don't think. And I don't think we need this now that we have the routes. If we can get to Yokohama, that'd be good. I feel like we're leaving the cold climate. What's this? A neck cushion. Let's get this English poetry. Let's get that. And let's get this. And let's get this. We're doing not bad money-wise, guys. I really want to get to Yokohama because there was some stuff that would do well there. And in Hong Kong. So let's go plan. What's this? Arrives Tuesday. We can go from Hong Kong to Yokohama. Might be better. Tomorrow at noon. Okay, so let's get a hotel. We'll pass the night here. We should take care of him. As night fell, I afforded my master every service, ensuring he had fresh tea with the hopes we would have restorative night. Yay! Let's depart. We're going to Hong Kong. Go team. Hire extra space. Go. Alright guys, so it now says we boarded the Beijing Express for the next leg of the journey through China to Hong Kong. Yay! Let's go. Let's converse. Greetings, madame. Good day, monsieur. Are you well? Begin conversation. Hong Kong? Not for me, I think. Hong Kong to Singapore? I would not hold out too much hope, monsieur. Hong Kong to Honolulu? I'm sorry, I have to run. How very unfriendly. Let's try and take care of fog some more. From Beijing to Hong Kong was another 1,000 miles, but the train line took a clever route that devoted most of the large towns entirely, running without stopping by the shortest route possible. Yay! I passed the time attending to my master's state. Attending to his parting, and he seemed a little better for it. Evening turned to night, and the train did not stop or slow. We're almost there. Okay, the countryside fell away to be replaced by busy, bustling worker towns. Large industrial plants bleached steam into the air, and mechanical contraptions stalked between warehouses. I watched with fascination as the countryside turned to the beginnings of an urban sprawl. This would be a city of dirt and filth, and yes, excitement. Dun dun dun! Sometimes excitement isn't good. Let's go here. I have some stuff that is valuable here. Let's sell it. Valuable here. What else is valuable here? That's valuable in Yokohama. Part of the engineer set. These are so expensive. Let's sell it. Brazilian snuff. Wow, that's worth a lot of money in San Francisco. Let's buy it. Boop, boop. Alright guys, I've had enough of the market. Let's explore, I guess. Ouch, Schrodinger, don't bite my feet. New routes discovered. Yes. I thought I already knew about that. I was looking over a bolt of navy Chinese silk when a man accosted me. This man had a mustache so fine, so luxuriant, so well tended that I briefly lost the power of speech. I watched, mesmerized, as it quivered with his every word of introduction. It seemed his name was Fix. He offered me a drink, and given that I had a few hours to spare, I had to lie shamelessly to escape him. We are leaving immediately, I declared. There is no time to waste. Is that so? He replied with great interest. And where are you going? It is my master's decision, I replied cagily. Fix nodded. Of course. Well, perhaps we will see each other again. I agreed then, I hope so, and I scurried away and fancied some darting from one corner of the eye. Oh, he's not good! I don't like him. Okay, let's plan. When can we go to Yokohama? Can we not get it to go sooner? Let's go for tomorrow, because that doesn't seem so bad. And then we will spend the night. Hotel! Dun 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 dun. The whims of a gentleman, I shrugged. Oh, wandering the streets, who should I bump into? Monsieur Fix! His sly eyes narrowed. Now, I thought you were leaving, he queried. The whims of a gentleman, I shrugged. Oh, I quite understand, but if you were to leave quickly, I know a way. Come, and he introduced. I shook my head. I regret I cannot. Fix nodded, his expression shouted. You are a busy man, I understand. Well, be sure to take good care of yourself and your master. With that, he slipped away. Don't trust him. Don't like you. Go away. Let's go. Going to Yokohama. I actually really like Yokohama. It's gorgeous. The Jade Tiger was an old Moj glass Persian airship renovated with Chinese colors and fittings. It was painted all over with Manchu luck symbols and had been repaired and patched up several times. I like this one. It was painted all over with Manchu luck symbols. Swats styled bats and coins. We clambered aboard, ready for journey east. Let's take care of fog. Your efforts are highly beneficial. Captain Sue wore a traditional Manchu pau in blue cotton, bone hairpins in her fan-shaped hair, and a jade thumb ring. I bowed low in a courtly greeting. She looked at me quizzically and then asked a series of questions in Cantonese. I thought so. In any case, it sounded similar to Mandarin, which I had picked up a little on the mainland. An English-speaking crew member was summoned, her tool belt hung with rope, bolt cutters, and climbing equipment. The captain said she expected you to speak Cantonese, she translated, because you were in Hong Kong. I was only briefly in Hong Kong, I sighed. I did not have much time to practice my languages. The crew member rattled her bolt cutters at me. The captain speaks Cantonese, Mandarin, 3 dialects of Manchu, Russian, and Arabic. Are any of these known to you? I speak a little Mandarin, I offered weakly, though only a very little. The captain, for all her delicately arranged hair, Grace, looked thoroughly exasperated and stalked off in a huff. The crew member chuckled and shook her head and stuck her hand out at me. Song Zhiying, looks like I'll be looking after you and your master this trip. Madame Song? I ventured. Song Ju shuddered. Song Ji is fine. Try not to mangle it too much, passe portrait? Her pronunciation was, of course, flawless. Merdi. The Jade Tiger. Let's go. Let's take care of fog. Ship moustache. Very good indeed. I love his responses. Okay, Monsieur Fogg took exception to the moth-eaten red silk drapings which adorned our cabin and asked me to take them down for the duration of the voyage. Is it their condition that you cannot bear? I asked. Does it matter? He replied with perfect equanimity. Only if a man has a right to know why he does things. I suppose it does not in the end. Only they are quite beautiful if a little worn, I remarked, sliding my palm across the soft fabric. Songju looked terribly surprised when she came to fetch us for dinner and saw the bare-walled room. My master has very particular tastes, I explained. How nice for him to have the luxury of taste was her only remark, but I felt its sting keenly. We're now steadfast. I am on fine form, but we must make haste. I'm trying! Oh my gosh, our massive detour south. We should have just crossed Russia, but the train fare was atrocious. We dined in the captain's quarters, accompanied by the captain's sleeves groaned under the weight of so many books. The captain's shelves groaned under the weight of so many books, and I counted 6 composite recurved bows hung on the walls. Archery and Russian novels. What an unexpected combination. Songji leaned closer. The captain loves archery almost as much as she loves the Jade Tiger. Where did she learn it? There lies a tale, the crew member smiled with relish. The captain's father was too old and weak to join the army, and so Captain Sue put on the clothing of a boy and rode out to take his place. She is so ladylike, I commented, glancing at her elaborate coiffure. It was a grave risk, but she served for 12 years and gained so much honor that when she was discovered, the generals gifted her with an airship and forgave her deception. How marvelous! I looked at the captain with admiration in my eyes, and she narrowed her gaze at me, and then at Songju, who paled. Oh dear, she muttered. I think the captain is irritated I'm telling tales. She is very modest. As befits a great hero, I said. Oh yes, that's it, Songju mumbled, and fell silent for the rest of her meal. A most stimulating dinner of the captain's table, all told. It was a lie! It was a lie! Oops! Alright, guys. We tailored at Yokohama in the early afternoon, and my eye passed lightly over the sloped-roof buildings, carriages, and bare cherry trees. I made particular effort to thank Shangzhuan for an entertaining journey, for she had been an excellent, if fanciful, translator. Think nothing of it, she advised, shaking my hand with her callous one. Good luck. Ready, passport? Monsieur called. Of course, monsieur, I replied eagerly and followed him into Japanese soil. Yay, relationships improved. Alright guys, it's morning, so let's go to the market. Okay, so there was things I had that would sell well here. Valuable here. Let's sell it. Valuable, San Francisco. Part of the engineer. Doesn't seem like anything's gonna sell for much. Valuable in Chicago, Acapulco, and Singapore. San Pedro. Sure, why not? Where's this one? Valuable in Omaha, Manila, and Acapulco. What? Can this fit? Okay, let's get that. And then I need to explore Manila to Yokohama, but that's like back south again. I don't want to do that. Okay, Yokohama to... Oh my gosh, where is this going? It was hard to believe that the Yokohama had only relatively recently opened to foreigners. There was an entire forest district not far from the waterfront, where it was common to hear Chinese or Russians as Japanese. There was a melding of cultures and clothing styles. Russians arrayed in their rich colors, hoop-skirted British ladies lately of Bengal or Singapore, Americans who had adopted the coat-like howdy over their short shirts and trousers. I noticed a Japanese man watching the scene with a look of intense concentration and scribbling in a sketchbook. I leaned in for a look. He was drawing a stylized picture of the foreign quarters with quick pen strokes, which stopped abruptly as my shadow fell over the drawing. He looked up, clearly irritated. "Do you mind?" he said, his accent an unholy mix of Dutch, French, and English. "I'm making a drawing for a woodcut." Why does that American appear drunk? I wondered aloud, and he covered his drawing jealously. "It is an artistic expression of foreigners," he stressed. "You dislike foreigners, then?" I predicted. "You are very strange people," he pronounced after a brief silence. "So are you," I exclaimed to his vast, untempered amusement. He colored one of the women's skirts lovingly, his hand on the page much gentler and kinder than his voice had been. Finally, he thrust the paper in my direction, assuring me that it was only a preliminary sketch. I accepted gracefully. Charmed that he had chosen to bestow a gift upon a near stranger, I stored it carefully. It was a fine souvenir of Yokohama. Let's, plan? Look, we can go to San Francisco. Departs tomorrow at 10. Okay, guys, let's do that. I don't really want to spend that much money on it, but I'm hoping it'll be okay. Before going to bed, I helped the kitchen staff to clean. Let's make a little bit of money back. Earning £60 as well as learning from him that you could pick up candles scented of rose in Singapore and sell them for a profit in Atlanta. Well, since we're not going to Singapore, okie doke, let's go this way. And let's embark. Go! Don't want to miss that boat. The Water Lily. This cannot go well. The Water Lily was a sleek iron-hulled ship to submarine prototype captained by a severe American by the name of Wicker, who wore a top hat and crewed by a mix of Americans, Chinese, and Japanese who all spoke a kind of salty, curse-studded sailor's English. In addition to the usual complement, the Water Lily carried an entire corps of brass-goggled engineers and braceless submariners on standby, should the captain call the orders to submerge. The rumor was that was a Confederate vessel sold off to a private concern in the later, more desperate stages of the Civil War, but I saw no trace of a dark past aboard. The crew seemed a happy family and welcomed us into their iron-hulled bosom. Let's converse. Greetings, Captain. Passport, what do you want? San Francisco to Omaha? You mentioned trains. I've been told my uncle stayed in New York when the Canadian Pacific Railway... When Canadian Pacific to Winnipeg started taking passengers. Let's try Omaha to Chicago. I heard that some buyers will pay well for sets and hats from Chicago. Here's the thing I could tell you. The last bank in Albuquerque has closed. Winnipeg to Ottawa, New York. Well, that's interesting. Keep going on the Water Lily. Oh dear. Our cabin, while hardly spacious, was adequate to our needs. One of the midshipmen came by to show us how to use the pressure seals in case of submersion, but in all other aspects, I looked forward to a peaceful steamship ocean crossing. I was not to be so lucky. Oh dear. That's not good! Let's converse. I am at your service, Monsieur Fogg. English poetry? Ah, remainder of my school days. Dominoes? You are a good competitor. San Francisco? Very good. Okay, well, he's happy. The salty air blew cool and sharp against my face as I opened the door onto the top deck. It was painfully early, and the only passengers awake were a group of Chinese laborers hunched miserably near the stern. One of their number was vomiting copiously into a bucket. I offered him my own secret remedy, which I had brewed up for just such an occasion. He swallowed it down with a certain dubious desperation, but immediately improved in both complexion and temperament. He thanked me most profusely. Shay. I waved away his thanks, and they invited me to sit and play dice with them until the sun rose. Making friends. Let's take care of Fogg. I accompanied Monsieur Fogg to a game of whist with a family of American missionaries who were traveling back to San Francisco for a family wedding. My master began strongly, but Mademoiselle Loretta, the eldest girl, had a sharp eye and won several hands in a row. A new round was dealt. I noticed Mademoiselle Loretta slip a card into her sleeve. I blinked twice in pure astonishment and glanced up at her face, which was utterly calm, betraying nothing of the action of her nimble fingers. The minister's daughter was a cheat, and a skilled one at that. I filed away the knowledge. For an opportune moment, catching her eye to convey that I noticed her little sleight of hand, she blushed with all the manufactured prettiness of an accomplished actress, then raised one eyebrow in silent challenge. Our journey continued on. We're now dependable, guys. We're dependable. You seem quite a handy man to have around, Passport. Let's converse some more. Greetings, Captain. Passport, what do you want? San Francisco. Speaking of trains, Albuquerque, back Texas to Dallas, Omaha to Atlanta. Oh, we can get to Omaha via Atlanta, Omaha to New York. Talk a lot, don't you? San Pedro to Albuquerque, to Dallas, to New Orleans. Oh dear. He's Schrodinger. I spent today in the company of the Water Lilies submariners. They were all hardy men and women who preferred the dim, enclosed spaces of the hold to the top deck. Too much sky, one of them said, squinting suspiciously. Her crewmate nodded. All that fresh air. They shuddered collectively and suggested a bracing race to the boiler room. I impressed them with my physical prowess, coming in a respectable fourth just behind their commander. She was a half-Japanese, half-American sailor by the name of Davis. Izumi to my friend, she said, clapping me heavily on the shoulder. Now a rematch of your choice. Very well, I declared, and promptly suggested a test of acrobatic skill. Though the submariners were fit as horses, they had never attempted to, for instance, form a pyramid or walk the length of a corridor on their hands. They competed with me gamely, but admitted themselves outclassed. Commander Davis even applauded. Izumi nodded as I took my leave. You're not so bad. Yay! I don't know if that was the right choices, guys. We're just going to keep doing it. Converse. Greetings, Commander Davis. Monsieur Passport, yes? San Francisco to Burlington. Burlington from Cheyenne. Burlington to New York. They're building that thing out on the island there. New York to Winnipeg. I understand Atlanta is connected by a Miami rail, but the fare is prohibitive. Let's click Miami. Someone is building a rocket near Miami. Ooh. Talk a lot, don't you? Atlanta to Miami. It's just not connected to anything. That's unfortunate. I was climbing the rigging. Entirely innocently, and not at all for the purposes of spying on the crew to appease my own rapacious curiosity when I heard two of the crewmen arguing in a pidgin mix of English and Japanese. I closed my eyes and listened to their voices. Only a few words were audible over the howling of the wind. Shrine, heathen, worship, before a sudden scream rent the air. One of the sailors was falling from the platform's edge. I was unable to look away as he fell. His body lay still and crumpled on the deck, but I heard his scream in my head for days after. I looked up and managed to catch sight of the fallen sailor's companion, his face still and pallid. Was the guilt in his eyes or merely shock? He slipped away before the captain arrived, and I followed him. He retired to the crew quarters, and I began to hear the sound of desperate muttered prayers. Uh-oh, we should take care of Fog. Fog! Good thing we don't have a choice. Okay, the Waterloo's crew held a funeral for the dead sailor. I was not specifically invited, but felt a sense of responsibility, having witnessed the man's fatal plunge. Captain Wicker led the Christian service with customary grimness. I was surprised by the absence of the sailor's companion, who had been arguing with him just before his fall. Yet he was not the only one missing from the funeral, although only half the crew had come to pay their respects. I went in search of the rest, only to find them making an offering in front of a makeshift Shinto shrine in the crew quarters. The fellow from the night before was amongst them. The captain doesn't want us at his Christian ceremonies. He thinks nothing of our faith, one of the sailors told me bitterly. We make our offerings here instead. Oh my gosh, guys. Day 40. Day 40. We're halfway there. Oh god. We're not going to make it. It took us are we halfway around the world at this point? I don't know. Storm, too exhausted to write a proper entry. Suffice to say we are still afloat. The night I remembered to adjust the pocket watch as we had crossed the international date line and gained ourselves a day. Yay, we are on the opposite side of the world. 2 day 4Ds. Converse. Greetings, Reverend. Passport, good day to you. Let's try San Francisco, Chicago. New York will pay very well indeed for engine oil from Chicago. English poetry. Thank you. San Francisco. It's Cheyenne. You mentioned trains. I've been told the Canadians from Calgary to Winnipeg. Domino's. Most generous. Let's ask about Chicago. Via Omaha. Chicago to Washington. Now tell me, I find the Book of Job most helpful, don't you? Yes. Sometimes I think the younger people simply do not read scripture anymore. Well, interesting. You have to answer their questions correctly. New York. The fastest way to New York from here is via Salt Lake City. New York to Miami? I don't know. Now you listen to me. You can pick up good false teeth in Miami. You can sell for profit in New York. Oh my god. They grow oranges there, I think. Okay, so Gastown to Calgary to Regina to Winnipeg. We could cross Canada, guys. If we so wanted. Yesterday's storm hit us with little warning. One moment I was preparing Monsieur Fogg's shaving water to exactly the right temperature. The next we were being tossed from one end of the cabin to the other. We were only lucky that the bed was securely nailed to the floor. Rain clattered against our iron hull, nearly drowning out the shouts of the crew. The storm lasted nearly 6 hours and blew us far off course. The captain spent most of the day peering at his charts, trying to locate our position. There was no land anywhere upon the horizon. Shoot! Where are we going? Fog! Passport, your attention is highly restorative. Oh dear. The captain announced a change of destination. The Water Lily would now make for nearby Hawaii rather than San Francisco. We would make port in Honolulu in 5 days, and would have to find our own way farther conveyance from there. Monsieur Fogg's lips pressed ever so slightly together. This, my master said, will not do. Indeed not, sir. I agreed, not even daring to calculate the delay and expense our unexpected diversion would cause. Monsieur Fogg gave me a cool, appraising glance. Captain Wicker has reneged upon his word as a gentleman, he said curtly, before lowering his voice to an almost furtive undertone. Our course is clear. We must mutiny. I opened my mouth to argue the point, but he continued on without so much as a pause. See to it, Passport. Use your natural charm? I interjected brightly. Quite, he said, with the agreeableness of a gentleman who has just given his valet a near Herculean task. We'll mutiny in 5 days. What? When we reach Honolulu, make your preparations as you see fit. Oh my gosh, guys, we're having a mutiny. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this part right there. Thank you so much for watching our little trip. I was not anticipating a storm throwing us so far off course. This boat seemed too good to be true. Anyway, guys, give it a great big thumbs up if you liked it. Comments down below or give me a shout out on Twitter at DaydreamerSuze. And subscribe to be notified when I make new content. And most importantly, I love y'all. Take care, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Mutiny.